Floriculture includes crops such as bedding and garden plants, foliage plants, potted flowering plants, cut flowers, cut cultivated greens, and floriculture materials. Bedding and garden plants, including all herbaceous perennials as well as annual bedding and garden plants, is the largest contributor to the total value of sales. These plants represent 49% of the wholesale value of all floriculture crops. The wholesale value of all floriculture crops rose slightly in 2012, reaching $4.1 billion. The top 15 producers in the United States are California, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Texas, and Washington. California is currently the leading state with floriculture crops valued at $985 million. Florida falls closely behind with $812 million in wholesale value. Together, California and Florida account for 44% of the 15-state value. The United States also imports and exports a great number of floriculture products. In 2012, the United States exported $25.8 million worth. The cut flower imports were valued at $615.7 million. Commercial floriculture is primarily practiced in greenhouses.
Commercial floriculture production depends on greenhouse operations. Commercial greenhouse technology provides a very uniform environment, ideal for growing large amounts of plants at rapid rates year-round. A typical greenhouse structure consists of a steel frame, glass or plastic siding, and a peaked roof with ventilation. This structure provides the perfect formula for creating the greenhouse effect, simply trapping heat in a confined area, which is then used to promote plant growth. Greenhouse technology is constantly evolving and covers heating, cooling, irrigation, and fertilization. As far as heating is concerned, there are two different types. A greenhouse is heated to the ideal temperature for the specific plants that inhabit it. Hot water heating, which requires a boiler, involves running steel or aluminum pipes under the plant racks. This system provides a continuous controlled temperature. Hot air heating, which requires a furnace, means cold air is sucked out of the greenhouse and released back into the greenhouse via ventilation. Large blowers or fans then distribute the warm air throughout the greenhouse. Hot air heating is often used in the spring, while hot water heating is often used in the winter because the heat dispersal is much more uniform. Cooling is just as important as heating. It may seem odd, but greenhouses do get too hot sometimes. One way to cool a greenhouse is using air exchange, allowing the air inside the greenhouse to exit and the air from the outside atmosphere to enter. This air exchange is accomplished with a ventilation system placed within the peaked rooftop. Another cooling method is reducing radiation penetration. This involves the opening and closing of stationary or movable shade screens. Shading reduces light penetration, decreasing the heat inside the greenhouse. Large blowers are almost always used for air circulation within large greenhouse operations. Irrigation is a must for commercial greenhouse operations. A glass or plastic roof does not allow for any natural precipitation to reach the plants, so growers must monitor their greenhouses and use a water source to provide for their plants. Drip tape is an economical and effective way to water long, straight rows of plants. Drip tape comes in varying diameters and holes are pre-punched at a desired distance apart, depending on what plants are being grown and at which growing stage. Another type of watering is using misters, which are also known as foggers. Misters or foggers are not only used to directly water plants, but also add moisture to the air and cool greenhouse temperatures. Misters are commonly used for ferns, perennials, garden greens, and propagation. Fertilizer is the key to plant growth and health. Fertilizer injectors are the most efficient way to feed plants. Nutrients are pre-mixed and brought to the plants through plastic tubing, similar to drip tape. The nutrient mix is then directly injected near the plant root system. This is a fast and accurate way to feed a nursery or greenhouse. Commercial heating, cooling, irrigation, and fertilizer systems are quite complex. They are computer operated and depend on sensors located throughout the greenhouse.
Petunias are one of the most popular spring flowers. In the United States, they have been one of the top 5 selling bedding plants for over 100 years. Petunias are often grown in beds, containers, window boxes, or as ground covers. Breeding over the years has allowed growers to produce over 400 cultivars in a variety of colors. In the summer, zinnias are a popular sell for greenhouses. They are used as cut flowers, in beds, borders, containers, and cottage garden landscapes. These flowers are cultivated for their ability to withstand hot summer temperatures in dry soil conditions. Over the years, zinnias have developed into hundreds of cultivars in a range of size and plant forms. Chrysanthemums are a traditional fall crop that are fairly easy to grow and can grow in low temperatures. Also known as mums, they are one of the leading cut flowers and potted plants in the international market. They are considered short-day plants and are fairly hardy towards cooler temperatures. In the United States, mums are the largest commercially produced flower due to their ease of cultivation, ability to bloom on schedule, and diversity of forms and colors. Poinsettias are popular during the winter, especially around the Christmas season. They dominate production and marketing efforts of wholesale production during the winter months. According to the USDA Floriculture crops in 2000, poinsettia wholesale value was $237,328,000 in the United States. Poinsettias need a controlled environment to grow in. Greenhouses provide farmers with the ability to control temperatures so the poinsettias are not stressed and so they do not produce their flowers too early in the season.